We are a nation of many peoples of different faiths, which means that we show compassion to everybody. Those are the universal values we stand for. That's what my administration intends to stand for. All right? Thank you very much, everybody.
If you were waiting to hear a U.S. president say, "I feel your pain," or if you were waiting to hear a U.S. president say, "It's them or us," that is not what you just heard. And if you're waiting for clarification on your feelings through that Q&A, you weren't going to get it.
Well, there you have Bill Hemmer yesterday during his program, America's Newsroom, commenting immediately after the president's press conference there in Turkey. Bill's joining us live right now from the streets of Paris. Bill, after you made what seemed to me to be where you were stating the obvious, some columnists and whatnot, people on the internets said, "What's he doing editorializing?" What were you doing?
I guess my sense, Steve, was that 60 to 70% of people in American polling believe the strategy against ISIS is not a winning strategy. And after being here in Paris and just feeling the sense of grief that these people have, because they were innocent victims going to a concert on a Friday night without Kevlar or up-armored Humvee, that they wanted to hear how we can be successful.
Sure.
And my sense at that time is that that is not what we heard.
You're right.
And what we heard was the strategy is this: the course is not changing, America. Stay the course.
I mean, it just seemed blind to the reality of what is. And as you stand there, Bill, with your feet on French soil, and you're echoing what so many people both here and there are feeling, I don't see how anyone could critique that. Certainly they have a right to, but it doesn't hold substance. What does it say, though, about the president's strategy when even reporters from the mainstream media are kind of asking him, well, what are we going to do about this? Like this one.
Jim Acosta.
I guess the question,
okay.
Forgive the language, is why can't we take out these bastards?
Well, Jim, I just spent the last three questions answering that very question. So I don't know what more you want me to add. I think I've described very specifically what our strategy is.
I mean, he's fatigued. He's already dealt with that, Bill.
My sense is he knows this is a tough sell. My sense is he was in no hurry yesterday. My sense is that he wanted to explain it as well as he could. I had the feeling that this was George Bush in 2006, when the bulk of the American people were concerned about the way the war was going in Iraq and wanted to get out. And what did President Bush do? He doubled down, he went with a surge, and ultimately that surge proved successful. This is the card President Obama is playing. The big distinction is, these were not soldiers or Marines who were targeted here in Paris. These were innocent 20-year-old college students. And now they feel here in France that each and every one of them could possibly be a victim. And that is the major distinction between what we saw this past weekend and anything France or the rest of Europe has experienced to date.
You know, I don't know how good your French is, Bill, but is there a sense of surprise in France that America hasn't committed to troops on the ground, talked about an aggressive strategy, backed up with our own airstrikes to their airstrikes over the last 2 days? Is there a sense of lack of leadership with America, or is France happy to be in the lead and don't care if anyone's to their left or right?
My sense is it's too early for that, only because I think the initial stage of grief is now turning to anger and unsureness about the future. The French president yesterday said he wants to talk to Vladimir Putin and wants to talk to Barack Obama about how they can work together. When that happens, perhaps later in the week, will it be together? I doubt it. But I will tell you, there are no massive rallies planned here in Paris, France. They had 1 million people last January after the newspaper was hit and 12 people killed there, 4 more down the street. You don't have that now. And what I sense is that you have 2 different orbits in this country. You have the French and those who have assimilated, and you have these tight-knit communities that are difficult to penetrate. And that's not just here. It's north in Belgium as well, and that's a story that is yet to emerge.
Yeah, whether you can get in those airtight communities.
Right.
All right, Bill Hemmer joining us from the streets of Paris, where, in my humble opinion, he has always just stated the obvious, and he did it yesterday.
Sure did.
Bill, thank you very much. We're going to be watching for America's Newsroom 21 minutes from right now, right here on the channel.
Great
Thanks,
work,
sir.
Bill.